Please welcome UAW Local 1097 Chairman, Nick Capone.
Hey, good morning. Great, we're going to have a great day today. My name is Neil Evans. I'm the director for GM Rochester Operations. On behalf of the plant team, along with the leadership of the UAW, we want to welcome you to today's special plant announcement. I'm thrilled to see some of our great friends in the audience. Thank you guys for coming. It really means a lot to us. Just a reminder, when you're in this area, you really don't have to wear your safety glasses today. When you leave this area, we'd ask you to wear any personal protective gear. So with that, I'm going to ask Nick to come up, and then we'll get on with the announcement.
Thank you, Neil. Good morning. Fabulous looking crowd. Probably the best crowd I've been in a long time. So on behalf of the entire UAW Local 1097 membership, I would like to welcome everybody to today's event. I would like to extend a special thank you to our UAW Region 9 Assistant Director, Lauren Farrell, our Region Rep, Mark Barbie, and our UAW International Servicing Rep, Dave Matthews. The support they have provided our local union leadership and our membership is unmatched. Thank you very much. To our Rochester UAW brothers and sisters, I am privileged and honored to be your shop chairman. Today's announcement reflects your dedication and your hard work. You are truly a world-class workforce. Thank you. I look forward to our continued prosperity and our bright future together. Again, thank you for all you do for our workforce here. So, for those of you who know me, I'm not very long-winded, so I'm going to close it. So in closing, I want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their busy schedules, front row, to be part of this special event today. Thank you very much.
Please welcome GM Manufacturing Executive Director, Doneen McDowell.
Good morning. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. I can't tell you how excited and honored I am to be here today with the GM team, including UAW Local 1097 and our distinguished guests. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to thank the team here at Rochester for your commitment to safety, particularly in the face of all the challenges we've had over the past 3 years. This team's hard work and dedication to swiftly ramp up the production of face masks during the pandemic helped keep thousands of GM employees healthy and safe. Thank you. A round of applause. From my standpoint, there's nothing more important than the safety and health of our people. I applaud everyone at Rochester for keeping your eyes, hearts, and minds on safety as we move forward. And trust me, your family's counting on it. I'm here to share some great news about the future of Rochester operations and 2 significant investments here. First, GM will invest $12 million in the Rochester team to build new components to support production of the all-new 6th generation family of the small block V8 gas engine. There's more. This is a part of a larger $854 million overall investment amongst 4 GM facilities to support the engine's production. Secondly, GM has also invested $56 million at Rochester to produce battery cooling lines for EV products. This brings the total investment to Rochester to $68 million. And for those who don't know what a cooling line is, there's examples over there. The Defiance Plan is also receiving an investment for future EV strategies, bringing the total manufacturing investments for internal combustible engines in electric vehicles announced today to $918 million. Facility renovations and updates to support the production of Gen 6 engine components in Rochester will begin shortly. Together, these investments for Rochester operations play strategic roles in our GM growth strategy. As a team, here supports production for both electric vehicles and internal combustion vehicles. I love it too. This parallel manufacturing strategy leverages our established manufacturing infrastructure. More importantly, it brings everybody in this great workforce along to help us lead in the industry. It's how we're going to win, adjusting our footprint, investing in our team and our people. Truck and SUV dominance is a cornerstone of our growth strategy, along with the transition to EVs. The production of the all-new small block family affirms the trust and loyalty our customers have in our trucks and SUVs. Americans love them. And we'll continue to build V8 powered trucks and SUVs for years to come, with components produced right here at Rochester. And as we look ahead and push forward into the EV market, the components you produce here will help drive GM into a new era of mobility and manufacturing. We couldn't do this without the skill and experience of this workforce. Everyone here at Rochester and throughout our network, all moving as one team. We will succeed through the individual efforts of every team member here, because you are a dynamic and diverse team that delivers. This is a good day for manufacturing in Rochester, and I'm proud to be here to share this news with you. I'd also like to acknowledge the critical support at the local, state, and federal levels, as well as from the UAW. A special thank you goes to Leader Schumer for joining us today, for your longtime support of GM and the U.S. automotive manufacturing sector, especially here in New York and Rochester. The EV policies included in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, and the CHIPS and Science Act represent important investments that will strengthen American manufacturing and jobs in this transition to EV. Special thanks to Governor Kathy Hochul for being with us and your tremendous support of GM in our Rochester facility. As a Western New York native, Governor Hochul understands the importance of GM and the future of the American manufacturing to the region, and it's great to be able to count on her leadership. We look forward to continuing to work with her administration. We're also honored to be joined by Congressman Morelli, Assemblymember Sarah Clark, and members of the International UAW, UAW Region 9 Assistant Director Lauren Farrell, and Dave Matthews, International Servicing Rep. So again, thank you all for coming, and once again, congratulations, Neil, Nick, and the GM team here at Rochester. Job well done.
Please welcome UAW Local 1097 President, Dan Maloney.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks, Deneen. And that rollout, it's really important now. We have our feet in both ponds, the electric vehicle market and the gas jobs. That's going to keep us solid here for years to come. So thank you to your team for making that happen. So a lot of thank yous to go around, but Neil Evans and his team, especially Chris Dool, the engineering staff here, working together, a good rapport with the UAW. That's how this stuff happens, right? We're not fighting all the time, right? A lot of times we get along and we know how our bread is buttered, and getting that new product in his plant was so important, so thank you, Neil. Appreciate you. So our political delegation, top shelf. And starting right there, big thank you to Senator Schumer. Senator Schumer has been a champion for securing new work in this plant. He's been a tenacious advocate. I'm glad you're a friend, not an enemy, right? It's great to have you on the side. Thank you, Senator Schumer. Congressman Joe Morelli, I know you've always believed in the potential of our team here since your days in the New York State Assembly. So you stay in regular contact with us to help this plant, our members. Thank you for your long-term friendship, Congressman Joe Morelli. And we now have a governor that knows Western New York, our GM plant, and where our union hall is, right? So thank you, Governor, for your commitment to manufacturing in New York State. And since you're from Buffalo, go Bills. Come on. Assembly member Sarah Clark. So she grew or lives currently right here in the Maplewood area. I'm not going to tell anyone your address, Sarah. But she's all in on getting us the support we need in the New York State Legislature, kind of taking over where the congressman left off. So we appreciate you. And DOL representative, Department of Labor, Joe Ham. So since your days as a humble staffer for Senator Schumer, right? I said humble. And now as regional director of the Department of Labor, Joe Ham has always been here, phone call away, helps us out, gets us anything we need, gets our questions answered. Thank you, Joe Ham. And Sarah. The head of the Chamber of Commerce, Bob Duffy, no stranger to this plant. He's had family members work here through the decades. And Bob Duffy, also a fellow 10th Warder, grew up right here. We were talking in the back room, a couple of good golf shots away from the plant. For anyone that can hit it that far, it ain't me. But a long-time advocate for the Rochester facility, since his time as mayor, lieutenant governor, and now as head of the Chamber of Commerce. We can't thank you enough, Bob, for your advocacy. Our UAW leadership is in the house, starting with Dave Matthews, International Servicing Rep out of Michigan. Our brother Dave. He knows our plan inside and out. Assistant Director Lauren Farrell. So Lauren, 19th Warder, grew up here in Rochester. I served on the Paul Shoe E-Board with her years ago. A dues-paying sister of Local 1097. Proud to have you here, Assistant Director Farrell. Thank you. And everyone in the workforce here knows Chocolate Thunder. Mark Barbie, our regional servicing rep. Brother Barbie's always been a strong advocate also. Thank you, Mark. So most importantly, it's thanks to the hard work of all of you, to the Rochester team, the men and women of Local 1097, day in and day out, build the finest automobile components in the face of the earth. So together we are building a very bright future here. And I can't forget our local, regional, county. So with that, we have Adam Bello, County Executive. I didn't know you were coming, so I had to scribble it in on the bottom here, brother. Sorry about that, Adam. But Adam Bello also, he never forgets the working men and women of this region. My understanding is everybody in county government that's union rep is under contract finally. So Adam Bello, thank you. I know Malik Evans couldn't make it. He's got the Deputy Mayor Patrick Cunningham here today, and he's out at some a mayor's meeting, some kind of national deal, and I guess he is kind of a big deal. Malik Evans has been meeting with labor quarterly since he took over the office, so like you used to do, Bob, when you were mayor. He's continuing the tradition. So again, thank you, Team Rochester. This is a good news day for all of us. Look forward to working here, not me personally for decades, but some of you younger folks, decades to come. Thank you, enjoy the day.
Please welcome UAW Region 9 Assistant Director, Lauren Farrell.
Oh, I guess I can't walk around. Bummer. All right, we'll do this. It is really good to be here today. Like Dan said, I am from Rochester, New York, and it is a really good day to be in my hometown. And it's a really good day to be in this facility, this beautiful facility that has been a stronghold in this community for how long? Over 80 years? So thank you everyone that's here today. But let me tell you something. As a UAW Assistant Director of this region, my job is to service and work for this membership. And I am so proud of you all today because the work that you have done in this facility for all of these years has gotten us to where we are at today. We have had some hard times, right? You remember the hard times. We have been fighting, all of you have been fighting for the future of this facility, and this is a really good day to be together with you all for it. Thank you to Deneen for acknowledging this really powerful, smart, innovative, strong workforce. Thank you to the leadership of 1097. You guys are amazing. The advocacy that you have done on behalf of this plant for all these years cannot be matched. So just again, I am only here to say thank you to all of you. Wait, give me a shout out, 19th Ward. Yeah, yes, thank you. Really appreciate all of you. You are all amazing. Thank you for the work that you do, the really good work you do every single day. I appreciate you. Solidarity.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome UAW International Servicing Representative Dave Matthews.
Thank you. I'd like to bring greetings from President Ray Curry. He would personally love to be here today, but as Deneen mentioned, there's several other major announcements happening today, so he couldn't be at all places at once. But he personally wanted me to tell you, thank you, Local 1097, each and every one of you. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be happening, your hard work and dedication. I would also like to recognize Deneen McDowell. I know she truly cares about all her assignments, and right here is a perfect example. Neil Evans, plant manager, thank you for working with UAW leader Nick Capone and Dan Maloney. I also want to give kind of a special thanks to Carl Johnson and Chris Dowd and Joe Eisenhower. These guys work tightly together. Since I've taken this position, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, they have constantly been building business cases to bring work into this facility, so I want to thank them. But once again, I want to thank each and every one of you. It's a pleasure to be your servicing rep, and just keep up the great work, man. This is a great day. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome U.S. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer.
All right, is it a great day? Now, first, I want to say one thing. Go Bills, kick some Bengal butt. Go Bills, kick Bengal butt. Go Bills, kick Bengal's butt. All right. Now to the issue at hand, where we're kicking some butt. Because today is a day for celebration. It's electric and internal combustion. $68 million is about to supercharge Rochester's GM factory to help build the next generation of electric vehicles and more. A few years ago, I remember the dark days. It looked like this plant might close. But now it has a bright and long-term future. Electric cars are the future. GM knows it, UAW knows it, and the plant is an integral part of that future. So this is a great day for a 4-letter word. I fooled you. J-O-B-S, jobs. Keeping the jobs that we have here, and it's a very good bet there'll be many more of them. Hopefully that your children will be able to work in this plant with good paying union jobs. So it's a great day. Now you are 1097, myself and GM, we've been on a decades road trip together. They were going to close this plant when Delphi owned it and sold to GM in 2008 because the auto industry was in such trouble. I called GM repeatedly, said, you've got to keep this plant open. We did. They closed a whole lot of Delphi plants, unfortunately, but they kept the two, Lockport and right here in Lexington Avenue, open. And then we had to say, well, it's not just enough to keep the plant open. We got to make sure it has a great future. We got to look to the future and see what could be produced. And so we worked hard. I worked with GM management. I called their top management maybe 50 times in the last few years. GM people know that. They know my calls. I'm a little persistent. But together we overcame the hazards on the highway. We kept the wheels on, moved forward, kept our hands firmly at 10 and 2. And so today when you ask that perennial road trip question, are we there yet? Here's where we are. We're taking the exit to the future. That is what this is all about. We got a great future here at GM. Why do we have a great future? Above all, it's because of the great workforce here. This is one of the most productive, hard-working labor forces in all of America. GM knows that. So when they were looking to expand, the hard work of all the people out here is what made a huge difference. So let's have a round of applause. Applaud yourself, the great, dedicated, hard-working men and women of this plant. Let's applaud the great UAW leadership and my friend for over a decade, the great Dan Maloney, and all his team. And let's give a hand for GM as well, who's seeing the future and working with us to get there. I want to thank my partners in government, Governor Hochul, Congressman Morelli, Assemblymember Clark, our great county executive is here as well. This is the best pit crew GM could ask for. So specifically, first, as has been mentioned, but I think it's worth underlining and making sure it's in the record from me, the Majority Leader of the United States Senate, specifically, this GM Rochester plant is getting a new $56 million production line to build battery pack cooling lines for EV production. The new EV battery component line is putting GM's factory in the driver's seat to help lead GM's transformation to become all electric, as Mary Barra has talked about. That means Rochester is going to be at the beating heart of one of the fastest growing industries that we have in this country, which means it has a future. It means it has a future, and it means that this is going to be here for a long time. Secondly, the facility's getting 12 million production line to make intake manifolds and fuel rail for GM's next generation Gen 6 V8 to deal with light-duty trucks. So whether it's electric or internal combustion, this plant has a great future, and today is a great day. So the bottom line is that we needed to do this. We had to move forward. We couldn't just look back or stand still. And it's not easy. Moving forward is not easy. But if you work together and you keep number one in mind, the jobs for all of you that not only you depend on, but your families, whether it's your spouses or your children or your parents or your brothers and sisters who can depend on you having a good paying job with good benefits, that's the whole deal. And that's what we've done. In the Congress, as was mentioned by Deneen, we passed the largest investments ever to boost EVs. And guess what we said? They should be all made in America. No China, no Europe, no anywhere else. And the law says you want to get the brakes, it's got to be American made, top to bottom. So that's a very good thing. So GM, thanks for leading the charge and making Rochester a vital part of your all-electric future. And I pledge to every one of you, as Majority Leader of the Senate, I am going to fight for you every single day so that we can say here at Lexington Avenue Plant and for 1097, the best is yet to come. Thank you. God bless the workers here. God bless this plant. God bless America. God bless the Bills. And God bless the United States of America.
Please welcome New York Governor Kathy Hochul.
Good morning. As a lifelong Buffalo Bills fan, I know there's a lot of people who have come to the party a little late. I have to reflect on a couple of things. When you grew up in Western New York, as a kid, when your grandpa was so proud to be making steel at the steel plant, and your uncles had jobs there, and your own father had jobs there, and your next door neighbor worked at the Tonawanda GM plant, you really believed in the power of labor to move this community and our state and our country forward. Because we made the steel that went into the vehicles, and we were riding high. And our football teams were doing well. It was a good era. So I saw this parallelism. It was a good time for upstate. And most of you are too young to remember. But all of a sudden, decisions are made to make the steel overseas and the cars over in Japan and Germany. And we started losing our mojo. Like, what happened? We're still hardworking people. We're still trying to do the right thing. And the same thing with football teams. Yeah, we made it to the show 4 times in a row. Came back a little empty-handed, okay? So I will just say, as a Western New Yorker, you get a little chip on your shoulder, okay? And you want to avenge the losses of the past, the jobs that were lost, the games that were lost. So this, as Marv Levy used to say, where would you rather be than right here, right now? Because we're going to take the future with this plant, and we're going to take the Super Bowl with the Buffalo Bills. And we're going to regain the glory that belongs to upstate New York and belongs to Western New York. And you, my friends, are the people I admire the most. Local 1097 must have been made in heaven, because I know when I'm trying to pitch businesses from all across the nation, Senator Schumer and I were out there on the front lines trying to bring a small company called Micron. Would you invest $100 billion in upstate New York and create the semiconductor chip so you don't have to go overseas anymore? You know what we sold them on? They were happy what you did in Congress. They're happy to do it with the legislature, and I thank my partners. But we told them that you'll never find a harder working group of individuals than members of the unions in upstate New York. And they believed in our vision of what we told them. And that's why I am so optimistic at this very moment in our time, in our history. And generations from now, they'll look back and not have those hard luck, sad stories of loss and people leaving the area, the jobs going, the people going, our capital going. Our greatest export at the time was our young people. Those days are over. They'll look back at this time in 2023 and say, thank you, GM, for seeing what we knew all along. You'll never get a better product made anywhere else in this country because you make it with UAW workers here in upstate New York, here in Rochester, and down the road in Buffalo. You'll never get anything better than what you get right here. So I want to thank GM for seeing what we have known all my life, neighbors and friends with so many people who put on their clothes. Grandpa used to take a lunch pail, go into his job with such pride, work long, long hours. But the families are lifted up. They live the American dream. They can get a good education, even run for office someday and maybe even become a governor. It all started with the union lifting my family out of its dire circumstances. So all of you, I'm grateful for how hard you work and the reputation that your hard work has created so we can continue to build on the great legacy of your hard work. To Neil Evans, I thank you for the work that you've done here. to make sure that the investments keep on coming here. Doneen, I want to thank all of the people at corporate who say, where else are we going to do this? Let's do it right here. Let's do it in Rochester. Let's keep that money coming because it's making a difference. And all the representatives. Dan, yes, I know where your union hall is because we did a lot of work together. You helped me get to Congress over a decade ago when everybody said it couldn't happen. You had my back. You helped me get elected lieutenant governor. You got me elected governor, and I'll never forget that. And I'll never turn my backs on the hardworking men of the labor movement, and I thank you, Dan, for your leadership. Thank you. And to all the others, to our leaders, our majority leader, Joe Morelli, we've known each other such a long time, Assembly Member Sarah Clark, Bob Duffy, yes, we're keeping those, I know you're on the Buffalo Bills effort from a long time ago, and to County Executive Adam Bello, but most of all, to all of you, $68 million. I was so happy to hear this news because, again, my recollection of a lot of press releases from manufacturers and the GM plants of the past, the Ford plants, Bethlehem Steel, for many, many years of my life, the message was, we're leaving. The jobs are going. The money's not being invested here. Today says that that trajectory is now over. We are going upward because of investments like this in not just our community and in this line, but in our people. So yes, as the senator says, this is a spectacular day, and I'm so proud to share this. And as I said to him when I was on a conversation with number 3, Damar Hamlin yesterday, I said, we will win this next football game and beyond in your name because you've inspired all of us. You've lifted our hearts and our souls and our belief in a higher calling. And I thank all of you for your faith in this community, this company, your union, and GM, and of course, the Buffalo Bills. Thank you, everybody. Let's win a big one.
Please welcome U.S. Congressman Joe Morelli.
Good morning. What an amazing day and an amazing announcement, and looking out at the sea of people who are here, who are going to live to really build on the promise, the potential that's being announced today. I first want to start with thanks to my great friend, my partner, and a great leader in Washington, and that's Senator Chuck Schumer. I have the great privilege of sort of being on the team, but when the team is led by the majority leader, it makes it a whole lot easier. So he has been a great friend and obviously has done enormous work to get to this day. Every announcement in Rochester always is something that Senator Schumer has led the effort on, and so I'm incredibly grateful to you, Chuck, for everything you do. God bless. And I want to thank also my longtime friend, Governor Hochul, who continues to work so hard at rebuilding this state, rebuilding the economy of upstate New York, rebuilding the economy of Rochester, and for everything she does. And brand new 4-year term, and we're looking for great things, Governor. So thank you for everything you do. And I think my other partners in government, the county executive, who's a longtime dear friend and is providing such leadership, and my friend who now serves in the seat that I had the great privilege of representing the State Assembly, Sarah Clark. You can give them both a big round of applause as well. Thank you. And I want to thank Mary Barra, CEO of General Motors, and obviously Neil. It's great to be back in the plant. Neil has been plugging away at this for a long time, and I think the last time we were together, well, one of the last times, we were talking about the plant and the future, and the future of this plant was not certain, that's for sure. But everyone at General Motors who is here, we can't thank you enough for your leadership and your commitment. I want to thank my friend Dan Maloney. There's no one quite like him anywhere. You have an event that you're at, particularly if there's probably adult beverages. Dan will be the last to leave, and he will spend every single moment advocating for the workers that he has the privilege of representing every single day. So Dan Maloney, Lauren, welcome back. To everybody in the United Auto Workers team 1097, who I've been blessed to have a relationship for decades now. So grateful for everything you do. So you can give yourselves a round of applause. I'll not try to repeat, and I'll just say a few words. You know, we've talked about the incredible workforce here and the people who continue to work at a high level. And I have to say, one of the things that is particularly impressive to me is over the years that we've been advocating and talking to General Motors, talking about what we can do with this plant and the extraordinary people that work here, is they've gone to work every day. You've all put in your best, even not knowing what the future is going to be. That emotional challenge of not knowing, while I'm giving it my all, while I'm doing my very best to produce the best product in the world, am I going to have a job? Am I going to have an opportunity? And I think there were dark days where we really questioned whether or not there was going to be viability in the future, and yet you stuck with it. You continue to demonstrate the extraordinary work here done at this plant, done by Rochesterians, and you have uplifted us and given affirmation to the idea that an investment like this was possible. $70 million. It's hard to believe in those dark hours that we would ever envision a time where your work would pay off to the degree it's paying off today. And that affirmation, I think, is so important. And the announcement is more than, and I think Senator Schumer said as well, I don't have a placard, but this is not only an investment in this facility, it is truly an investment in the future. And for all of us who believe in the specialized workforce, in the families who rely on these jobs, and Senator, you're so right, we're gonna hope that your children, your grandchildren will be working to produce the best product anywhere in the world right here in this facility. And if we're going to fight climate change and the climate crisis by building here in this facility. And we're going to be able to compete with manufacturing anywhere in the world, particularly competing with adversaries in China. We're going to build manufacturing back, and we've done it with a number of things that Senator Schumer talked about. They don't bear repeating. Other than to say, we have been on a concerted strategy to build manufacturing base back in the United States. And we're doing this at the federal level, the governor's doing it at the state level, Adam's doing it at the county level. We are all aligned, we are all working together, and we believe we can build the best products anywhere in the world, and you are leading the way in doing that. So Stephen Jobs, who didn't work for General Motors, worked for another company that's named after a fruit, did say, innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not as a threat. And so we're going to seize this opportunity. You are all going to seize this opportunity and continue to build the very best. And I want to say, just in passing, I also want to thank you for my 2 Chevrolet vehicles. I have a Traverse, I have a Blazer. I consult with Dan on these things. They're amazing vehicles. You are building the best vehicles in the world. God bless you. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
Please welcome Assembly Member Sarah Clark.
Thank you for indulging a long line of speakers. It is not fun to be the last one. Not much left to say, and I know you all have been here a very long time waiting for this to kick off, but it is so exciting. So there are so many of us that want to add our voice and say a few things. You know, to me, this is super personal in the sense that I still live in the 10th Ward. I live around the corner in the Maplewood neighborhood, raising my family there, and this plant is such a heart of this entire 10th Ward and this entire area for what it has represented over the decades as good paying jobs for families to have, to support their families, to live well, and to really achieve the middle class dream that we all want. And today is super exciting because I think what you guys do so well is show how that partnership between labor, that we can create good paying jobs while having successful company together, and that the success and future goes hand in hand between management and Mary Barra and GM, along with the hardworking talents that you guys bring in every day here, but then are able to go home and support your families. So that success truly does go hand in hand, and you guys live it every day, and you show the rest of America how to do it and how to do it right. So I am just so thankful to see it in action as we celebrate another huge announcement here, a $68 million investment. When it comes to manufacturing jobs, the one thing you need to understand is that for every job that is created, it is a 4-time multiplier effect. There are 4 other jobs that are created in the community. So these aren't jobs that are just one-offs. These are jobs that truly create roots in our community and add so much more to the success of it. So today we celebrate this in a way that we can't wait to see the jobs that are added, the four-letter word that we are super excited to hear, as opposed to other four-letter words, and that we get to have an opportunity to be the future of automobile industry. And it is my commitment, along with my partners in government, the governor, and what we'll do in the state, along with our federal representatives, the congressman and the senator, is our commitment to you that if you build them, we will make sure we create the infrastructure to support them. We will get charging stations everywhere. We will make sure everyone has the opportunity to have a charging station at their house. We will do all the things that we need to do at a policy level to put in what is needed to make the success of EVs and then the success of this company grow tenfold. So thank you for letting us be here. Think of us as your partners in the future, and it truly, truly is endless what we're going to see in terms of the potential here. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage GM Rochester Plant Director, Neil Evans.
Well, hey, that was fun, right? That was really fun. I want to thank the people standing. I know it's been a long time. I really appreciate you tolerating that. I want to thank our special guests for helping us celebrate today. The GM Rochester team is comprised of men and women that are very talented and not only work in Rochester, but live in the local communities. I'm so proud of you guys. I want to thank our special guest, Senator Schumer. Thank you very much. Governor Hochul, thank you. Joe Morelli, we've known each other for a long time. You've been here many times. Assemblymember Clark, nice to meet you. And Adam Bello. Okay, thank you. And then finally, a longtime friend of myself and the plant is Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Bob Duffy and his Chief of Staff Mark Cohen. Thank you, Bob. I want to thank you for being with us as we celebrate this exciting investment. We've been producing intake manifolds here for over 30 years, and this will continue that story. We've been making fuel systems for over 80 years, and we'll continue that as well. Our electric vehicle cooling line opportunity will be a new chapter in the history of GM Rochester, and we're all looking forward to that. As Nick mentioned earlier, this investment reflects the excellent workforce here at the plant, whose commitment to building a quality component for many of GM's award-winning vehicles every day. Congratulations to the entire GM Rochester team for your hard work, commitment, dedication to keep our customers satisfied. So thank you again for what you do.